Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down how I was able to profit over $4,000 in a matter of 10 hours or less in one trade. I'm using my strategy that I have back tested. If you guys could just do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, that would really help out. It'll let me know that you guys want to see more videos like this. So just to get started, I just want to go over my trading terminal, and I want to show you guys proof that I'm not just saying this. So this shows that I entered the trade on June 1st. I know it's backwards. Most people think that it's January 6th, but FTMO has their dates backwards in their terminal, so it's June 1st. So June 1st, I entered a long position on gold. That's the symbol for gold. I entered a long. I know it says trade volume 100, but it really is just a standard lot. A standard lot is just a 1.00 contract size. But the way that they have it labeled here is 100. But I entered around the 3,314.51 level, which is this level right here. And I was targeting a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, so I was willing to risk the same amount of money I was willing to gain. So in this case, I would have been at risk of losing about 4,000, but my reward was also 4,000, so it was a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And I entered this trade around 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Sunday. And I was initially planning on holding this trade over the week because I'm typically a swing trader. I don't like scalping. I don't like day trading. I tend to make most of my money trading long-term trends and holding my positions over a long period of time, couple days minimum. So when this trade hit its take profit overnight, it was surprising to say the least. I was not expecting it to move that fast overnight. Typically, gold moves on average about, I want to say like 100 pips, 200 pips in a day. This trade, I was targeting 400 pips and it reached its target in like 10 hours. So that is very not usual. I believe it's just because of the volatility in the market right now with all the news events happening, with Trump and all these tariffs. It's just causing a lot of uncertainty in the market and therefore causes a lot of volatility. And so that's where I come in. Other people come in and they try to take advantage of the movement. This typically doesn't happen, so people are just trying to make the most of the opportunity. So anyways, to get back to the technical aspect of the trade, going into this trade, before I even went long here, I saw that at the time, before the market opened during Asian session, I noticed that price had been consolidating into a downtrend. And I noticed that in the previous session that price was failing to break below this 3290 level. You can see because of the wicks here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wicks. So at the moment, I noticed that this was an area of significance. Either the market was going to break below or it was going to respect and push higher. But I was not going to just blindly enter the trade without confirmation. So I waited to see what price was going to be doing. This enormous bearish candle happened, and it basically just took out this liquidity that was resting here. And these next candles that formed gave me a little bit more confirmation to know that this basically was just a liquidity sweep. that this wasn't really a bearish trend. I know that it's a bearish engulfing candle. Bearish engulfing just means that this candle is engulfing just means that it's larger than the previous candle. So you can see in the past that these candles were, normal size, and then this giant red candle came out, and it's engulfing because it consumes or takes up all of these candles that were formed previously. So I knew that this engulfing bearish candle wasn't a bearish trend. I knew that it was ultimately a liquidity sweep taking out these lows, so that way the market could use these stops as liquidity to push the price higher. It may sound a little confusing for people that are barely getting into trading, but people that are more advanced or have been trading for a while, you guys might be more familiar with what I'm talking about. But if you don't, it's okay. No worries. I didn't need to know this stuff when I first learned, so I'm just explaining to you guys what I saw from my point of view. But anyway, so I saw that these candles were forming here. I saw that price really came back and tested this area, but bounced off it. So I was starting to look for a bullish bias to go long, but I wasn't just going to go long after these candles. I needed a little bit more confirmation to enter. So initially what I wanted to see was a break above this level, and not just a break but a retest, and that is exactly what happened. We see how price formed this high, and then price broke below to take this liquidity out. Price formed these next three candles to establish some sort of structure here. I was expecting price to at least break above this level and retest this level before I look for longs, and that's what happened. You see here how price came, and not only did price come and break above this level with this one candle, but price also came back and retested literally perfectly to this level, the 3303, 3304 level. And so I decided that once price broke above this level and came back, and this candle that printed at around 1700 California time, this candle really helped me to, it helped to give me confirmation of my bias, that, price was really going to push higher. So after this candle formed, I know it's kind of hard to see because of my my trading view order, but price came down and rejected this level. I think that this is, again, if you're new, you might not really understand this, but for me, I just was noticing many confluences happening at once, and I just took advantage of the opportunity. I saw that this candle pushed, but it did not close here. It pushed back up and it closed above this level. And if you guys notice that this wick makes up about, I want to say like a third or a fourth, or at least a half of this candle. So I knew that price not only formed an engulfing bullish candle, but price also came back to retest this this body of the candle, and it came at least, I want to say 50%. I know some people might not agree. They might think that that's like a third. This might be a half, but regardless, price came back and filled a good area of this candle and rejected off it. So that in and of itself helped me to see how this bias was ultimately bullish. So that is when I decided to go long here. This was around 9 or 10 p.m. Sunday. This is when I entered, and I went for a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I was willing to risk 4,000 to make 4,000. I was planning on holding this trade over the week. I was not planning on it being a scalping trade or a day trade. I definitely was planning on holding this a while, since we are on the 1 hour time frame. But yeah, so that's basically my bias as to why I entered long on gold. It was just a simple, break and retest. Price, took the liquidity out here. Price broke back up, retested this area of interest, wicked down, rejected, and that was when I initially entered long. I was seeing what I saw on the charts in terms of the technicals, but also I also decided to go long for fundamental reasons. There was just that day, I remember Sunday, listening to the news and reading some articles, and it was just the recurring theme of, the trade war and, tariffs, higher prices for, businesses, for consumers, just this like sense of uncertainty and not knowing what's going to happen. And so, when times of uncertainty happen, people tend to have a risk off sentiment, meaning they tend to be less risky and they tend to um, look at other areas to invest their money. And so typically when the market or the economy or just the general consensus of the public is, they're very scared or they're very uncertain, they will pull their money out of riskier asset classes and they will invest their money into quote unquote safe haven asset classes. And that is what gold is considered. It's considered a safe haven asset, meaning people tend to invest in gold during times of uncertainty. And so you guys can just start to see how my long bias for gold was developed and how I waited for confirmation on the technical aspect, but also going along with the fundamental aspect as well, which was just uncertainty and rising tensions. So I thought that I had a pretty solid bias for going long gold, despite the initial downtrend. I looked at the daily time frame and I saw that the overall trend for gold was, it was trending higher. So I just knew that the overall bias on the daily was high, and I knew that on the 1 hour price was starting to show a higher pattern. So that was my reasoning for taking this trade. I went to sleep right after I placed this trade at around 10 o'clock at night Sunday. And not even 5 candles, or 5 hours, I was already in profit. I want to say about 1,000. Let's see, 33.14 to 33.23. So yeah, about 900 to 1,000. I was already up in profit. Like 5 hours after I placed the trade, but I was asleep, so I wasn't even watching it. Typically, my trading style is when I am in a trade and I'm in profit, I like to, trail my stop loss to my break-even point. So if price were to, reverse, at least I'm not at a loss. At least I, you know, don't have to worry about leaving all this risk, the potential of losing 4,000. It helps mentally to know that you have limited your risk, and the worst case that could happen is you just get tapped out and you have to find another reentry, which, you don't want to be staying up at night watching your trade. You want to be able to, do what you need to do and live your life and not worry about every single tick that happens. And that's why I found that swing trading and, position trading has ultimately been the better trading style for me, given that I do work full time and I do have a part-time job as well. And I can't be staring at the charts all the time like I used to. And honestly, it's a lot better because I don't have to stress or worry about every single tick. I can live my life, and clearly, it's working. So, but yeah, I woke up in the morning. I want to say this was around 10, so 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I remember specifically at 6 o'clock waking up and my alarm going off at 5:30, but I snoozed. I woke up at 6, and this is the 6 o'clock candle. And I remember checking my phone, and I saw that that I got stopped, that I wasn't in the trade anymore, and I was like, "What happened?" And I went to check my account balance, and I checked my P&L, and I was like, "Oh, that's what happened." And I checked the charts, and I was at shock because this type of movement, I mean, 400 pip move. Typically gold, the average trading range for gold is around 100 pips, maybe 200 pips average. So for, price to move 400 plus pips in, overnight is just it was a great thing to happen, because I was positioned correctly. But yeah, so I intentionally was planning on, moving my stop loss to break even once I was in profit. But because price moved so fast and so hard when I was sleeping, when I woke up, I didn't have the opportunity to move my stop loss to break even. So at that moment in time, I closed the trade, and I was happy with the results. You know, I am trading on $100,000 account. I know it says demo, but FTMO, it's simulated capital, so that's why it's a demo account. But the profits that I do make, I get to keep an 80% profit split. So it's really just 80% of whatever I get to, what I get to keep is 80%. So, but yeah, I just wanted to make this video real quick to show you guys, how and why I decided to go long on gold. If you guys want more videos like this, or you guys want, help maybe analyzing something, or you just aren't sure of, you know, whatever it is, you guys are more than welcome to reach out to me. And and as you guys can see, I'm not really doing anything too crazy. I'm not doing anything too sophisticated, which is kind of why I decided to make this YouTube channel, is to just showcase to you guys that you don't need to spend all this money, with buying all these indicators, or buying all these courses, or buying all these mentorships, from these quote unquote gurus that think that, that what they have is, the golden ticket, essentially, when there is no such thing. When you're trading in the markets, everybody loses money. Even Warren Buffett, loses money. So that's why it's really important to go into this with a level head, to go into this, knowing and being comfortable with the amount that you're risking, not over leveraging, and at the end of the day, just sticking to your strategy and remaining consistent, despite the downs and ups, because that the strategy that you have, has been back tested, has been proven to work over time. And, it's just a matter of staying the course and not getting discouraged or comparing yourself to other people, because there will always be somebody who makes more money than you in trading. There will always be somebody who has a bigger account than you. And I think that it's really important to remain disciplined, and to just focus on yourself and your trading journey, because comparison is the thief of joy, man. If you are always comparing yourself to others that have more, or that make more, or have bigger accounts than you, you will never be able or be happy with your progress, because this is a long-term thing. This is not an overnight success. And, it's crazy to think, that when I first started to get into trading, I dreamed of days like this, where I would wake up and I would make, somebody's monthly salary in just a matter of hours. And it's just very fulfilling and very rewarding to see how your hard work really does pay off in the end. And at the end of the day, that this is a skill set that nobody would be able to take away from you. That it's something that you can teach, and that you can pass down to others. And I think that in and of itself is worth more than, the flashy cars, or the fancy lifestyle, or the exotic vacations. I think at the end of the day, what everyone really wants is just financial freedom, is to just be able to, live a good life, a comfortable life, without having to worry about bills, or, making ends meet. I really do genuinely believe that if you are willing to take the time to learn this skill and put the time and effort in, I genuinely believe that this is one of the most rewarding careers that you can choose. Because at the end of the day, nobody can tell you when to clock in or clock out. Nobody can tell you what you can or cannot make. It is completely and utterly up to you. And for some, that's scary, but for most, I would imagine is very freeing and very fulfilling way to live your life. So anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a little insight as to how I went long gold on Sunday. If you guys like this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys share. Just spread the word. I'm just an ordinary guy, but it's clear that I have something, something substantial, and I believe that I'm not special. I think that I'm just like everybody else. Just want something that's, a little bit more able to help out, in terms of your bills or whatever it is. I genuinely believe that this can be it. You just got to put the work in, like anything else. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions or any comments, be sure to leave them in the comment section. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will be sure to make another video soon. If I do see another opportunity and I do take it, I will be sure to update you guys or let you know. But yeah, I'm not going to be really forcing any trades at this point. I'm going to just wait for the best setup, be patient, sit on my hands, and just take it one day at a time. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and see you later.